them, but a win today would make it 100% locked. Wolfpack will be dancing come next week. Lee Cassell will throw it up. Jamel Spearman, A.J. Desai with him, and on the way down, it'd be 80 minutes against Virginia in the regular season. Sam Lewis, a big scorer for UVA, misses his first shot. It's rebounded. Virginia will go legitimately 9 deep, and it's some of the best depth you'll see in the nation. A driving Malik Thomas is dimensions. Lots of shot clock violations typically forced.
One of the difficult things for NC State, they're used to picking on people on positional sides.
A career best 8 for 8 from the free throw line yesterday. It's his first. State averaging 14 and 7 on the year. And Lubin has the game's first 4.
The bigs of UVA.
Virginia was the 6th most efficient offense in the ACC this year. A lot of players who can step up.
And the players heard it. They know they have a chance to right the ship. And when I talked to Ven-Allen Lubin yesterday, he spoke about toughness.
This is, though, Jay, a perfect start because Lubin has the game's first 6 points against this front line. How didn't end up a carry, maybe because he lost possession. Lewis in the hall, out to DeRidder, same spot he hit. This one knocked around.
And oftentimes, if you're NC State, you want to attack and punch them early because you've had the repetition. It just takes a minute to get the juices flowing and to actually get that lather defensively and offensively.
In the lead. Copeland fighting through a couple of defenders, meets the resistance of Onyenso, and Williams is there for a 3. Not a great offensive team in conference play. They're only 12th in field goal percentage. Onyenso inside. Cavaliers using depth early.
Have to attack this matchup. That's what you want, that size discrepancy.
Williams on the 5'10 Mallory. Inside Lubin.
UVA is going to switch. NC State's going to pick them apart with those matchups.
Here's White in transition, a 3. Bounces it back into Williams. Around a Lubin screen, Williams works. Williams, too strong. Whose season high was 23 at NC State. Such a balanced scoring team. Mallory ties it. Here's McNeil. Got a little chip screen from Copeland to set him. Found McNeil. Around it out for 3. Great energy, great pace to this game early. As Onyenso finishes Sanye Terrence Arsenault. Copeland gets a breather. Abel shuffling it inside.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Up a left. 3-point lead for NC State, the 7 seed over the 2 in our first quarterfinal. Paul McNeil is fouled.
With him, you have to continue to challenge him at the rim and try to draw that 3rd foul. Obviously, Bruno.
McNeil had 22 in the game in Charlottesville, was 7 for 7 at the line. He's 2 for 2 here.
And one of the best in the nation.
Hall in the corner in trouble. McNeil played free safety, but Thomas ends up with the ball.
Because, like you guys were just talking about, he's a natural scorer, and he has throughout his entire career. So when you come to a place like...
First 2 years, Taylor at USC, 2 at San Francisco, and he's fit a rotation of great pieces. The rejection against Sanye. DeRidder backing down Abel, the freshman. Swings it over to Thomas. Thomas at 2. Rebound Copeland. Rebounding teams in the country. Terrence Arsenault into DeRidder. That's a really tough shot. Down to Sanye. It's not who you want running the floor.
Just a poor decision there by Copeland.
White. That's a rarity for NC State, which is one of the best turnover teams in the country. Arsenault. Bruno 3rd. Thomas. Into Lubin. Tough turnaround is good. Game in this day of basketball here. Lubin for Abel. Baseline. Bounce. Lubin. Denied by Mallory running the floor. Hall. Onyenso.
Just no fluidity right now for NC State. Defense just looks very stagnant.
Another prayer. Really, as disappointing year as the ACC's ever had last year. Only one team won a tournament game. That was Duke, who, of course, made it to the Final Four. Couldn't get anywhere. Dallin Hall with 3 assists early. Couldn't pick up a 4th. Onyenso is fouled. Leaves with a 3rd foul. So a gamble by Will Wade really burns him as Virginia takes. And he goes 1 for 2 to tie the score. A smooth operator for Virginia. The BYU transfer into Onyenso. Did he get it up in time? He did. He might have another one here on Arsenault. Lewis a pull-up three. It's good. You can't take it in on Onyenso right now. Just his presence is altering everything. Almost had his...
If you're going to attack that paint on Onyenso, you got to attack it with a high floater.
What a feed by Copeland, and Lubin is in.
Realistic ball fake, and he watches it, but Onyenso bites, and he tries to stay patient.
Copeland flies by Mallory and a rebound.
This is what they do. They attack those matchups.
Mallory took a hit.
We'll give it right back to him.
Abel, rise and fire. Rebound down from Quadir Copeland. Senior point guard in his second year with Will Wade. Spins around, no! NC State does like being in a track meet. McNeil with a deep 2. Paul McNeil with 7 and State's on top. Great floor general. Assist to turnover 3.3 to 1. He and Mallory share the floor together. And Mallory clanks at things. He had barely played most of the season, just a 4-point per game player. Abel strokes it from deep. Boy, that
was Will Wade's first recruit at NC State, originally committed at Miami, but chose the Wolfpack instead.
7 straight for the Pack. That's in. Holloman. Abel off a screen from Lubin. In and out.
Go to try to see if they can get a 2-for-1.
Fumbled by Lewis. DeRitter in the corner for 3. Lenore Williams on the floor for this final possession. Lubin. Onyenso with 3 blocks already. Picks up a right.
How patient is Onyenso? I am so impressed with him not biting for the first.
Quit the internal passes. Kick it out.
No question, Taylor. Quadir Copeland, 3 turnovers in the first half. That's a good decision. He just picked up Grunlow's.
Give it back to him.
On Williams, who's got 3 fouls. Lubin comes over for the double. Swung to Hall. Kick to Lewis. In the air. In the hoop for 3. For UVA. A 3 is good. Boy, they can come at you quickly from deep. Virginia.
Got up on the weak side to help.
Copeland for McNeil. Steps back. Buries it. McNeil's open. Holloman found him. NC State leads again.
Great recognition by Howard.
4 seed. 10 in, or 13 in the net.
Just a lazy pass there.
And Thomas will stuff it. Lubin to the basket. Squished it off the iron. Here comes Lewis. Here's DeRitter. He gets hit hard by Mc.
How about this? He said, I love the fear in their eyes when opposing players see me down there.
Here he is. Fear this. They're playing an uncommon amount of minutes. Copeland. And a reach-in foul. Doesn't have a great resume. It is bad news, though, for SMU here in the ACC, who lost yesterday, as Joe has them right on the cut line. Jakari White makes a little breathing room. They're the 7th to last team above the cut line right now. Obviously, a win here would fully secure it. Williams. Boy, they got to get him going. It's just
1 point, only with 4 shots in this game. Now, I know he's in foul trouble, but he has to be aggressive down the stretch.
Foul on Lubin against. That's a big prize out of the transfer portal. Has that postseason experience, though. Mallory wouldn't go. Look at this.
It always translates into team chemistry.
That has been the struggle for Will Wade this year, hence the 12 losses. Arsenault a deep 2, Plank. Grunlow with Hall and Mallory, White and Tillis. Grunlow knocked away by Copeland, but he recovers. Copeland trying to get a steal from Lubin. Grunlow is in there to help make that a difficult shot. And he catches on the run and then finishes. Whipped inside to Mallory. Out for Tillis. Tillis on the bounce. Hall on the reverse. Largest lead. DeRitter. Hall. Yes! Will Wade was seeing him and telling his story in our next game.
Not only do I think he's one of the most talented coaches we have here in the ACC, as McNeil knocks down a really big three to close in. Not only what he does basketball IQ-wise and X's and O's, but his ability to recruit. And there's a lot of rumblings around Miami that if Eric Spoelstra goes up top to...
7 of 13 possessions in the second half. Holloman to Lubin, and there's a foul. That's going to be on...
NC State was in the building yesterday taking pictures and signing autographs and kissing babies.
What are your memories from that run?
Well, that was my freshman year, and got a chance to play with Chris Carrawell, who's now on. Did you feel like the rhythm and pace of this game has shifted towards how UVA wants to play?
Hall smothered by Lubin. That's a tie-up, and the arrow stays with.
And it's a lot about their fluidity in which they play, and you're seeing more of their UVA offense in the second half.
Lewis lets it fly and drills his 4-3, facing its largest deficit. Into Lubin against Grunlow. It's been a tough matchup all night long, and that will be a goal.
The paint is deterring anybody at taking shots at the rim.
Thomas, an air ball.
Kingston Fleming's one of the top scorers and top freshmen in the country for Houston. Wow.
Williams will shoot two. You'll be heading to Kansas City after our game. 61-51 Virginia, closing in on 8 to play in our first quarter final. DeRidder to the rim.
That
first-year player in college hoops from Belgium. Floater by Copeland.
Those are the type of shots that you need. And for UVA, it's all about their offensive team having energy.
Look at those numbers. No turnovers and a half for Virginia. NC State with a hack push. First bucket for Holloman. Jakari White gets free and answers. Driving, met by Anietso. Jump stop, no. Back to Copeland. Here's Abel. It's good. It's 3. Comes back into the game. White again. Whoa, not even close, but DeRidder is there to clean it up. A shot so... Lewis on Lubin. Lubin gets his hand in there for the steal. Copeland does not have numbers. Tried to go 1-on-4. Lewis, Tillis, Mallory, Anietso, and they get it right back. Mallory off the strip. Oh, Copeland smothers him.
Copeland just...
McNeil, offensive rebound denied again. You just can't go in there on Anietso, and he's got the putback. With an ACC tournament record, 12 threes. Hall, that hit the rim? If it didn't, it would be a shot clock violation. Apparently, player, you got to be careful there. You could bait your team into something. Virginia didn't take the bait. McNeil to cut it to 6. Yes! Paul McNeil. Driving DeRidder out for Thomas. Passes up at 3. Spins in for 2. And McNeil will get the second. Well, tonight, I mean, that was and Luke Hancock, the shootout champion. They'll be after the games as well. So after this game, go to ACC Network. 90 seconds, 8-point lead for UVA. Williams to a cutting. Copeland, he finishes through a foul. State, Hall just barely broke it. And Mallory kind of fumbled with the ball there. DeRidder will drive it early in the shot clock and score. The 70s in terms of free throw percentage. DeRidder. Mallory's going to back it out. And McNeil will foul him. The freshman Mallory purely hits the first. Next one would make it a 3. Recommitted to Ryan Odom. Charlottesville kid through and through. Has the Hoos 2 points. Set up McNeil again. That is no good. It's loose. It's back to McNeil. Another 3, and he won't miss this one. 3 on the clock.
Run the baseline.
Into Tillis.
That's a perfect place to get a trap.
Whoa, what happened here? He lost it out of bounds to NC State. And one dribble denied again by Onyenso. Abel forces it up. Rebounded by DeRitter. Ugana Onyenso. 8 blocks. Got it. Have to score right now. Copeland does not. Rebound Thomas. He is fouled. That will do it. Free throw.
Yeah, a big room of breath and fresh air. The teams don't know how you play, and they can create some havoc in the tournament.
For NC State, the question, they avoid the first 4. For Virginia, the question is, who will they play tomorrow? Does the Cavaliers on the shot blocking specialty from they are headed to the ACC semis. 81-74, the final score here in Charlotte. Great score.